following is a presentation of the Belly Up Sports Media Network.
Touchdown, Seahawks!
It's time to BS.
Hey, Dustin, I look smart today.
You look smart every day.
I do not look smart every day, Dustin.
I look like I don't know what I look like today.
You look horrible. You do. You look like you're rolled out of bed upside down.
I probably did.
You might have.
I'm getting older, man. I'm getting older. That's what it is. What it is. My age has a 4 in front of it. You know? What are you going to do?
I'm getting close to 30, so I really can't say shit. So there you go. So with that being said, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Department of BS. I'm coming to you from the beaches of lovely Long Island, New York. My name is Daniel Smooth. That is Dustin. He's coming to you from the capital region of Albany, New York. And this is Seahawk Sessions. We're part of the Belly Up Sports and Belly Up Media Networks. You can find our Twitters and Instagrams and the TikTok machine for clips on the show. In the description, you can also find Dustin's Instagram and Twitter, and also Kevin, who is not here because he is lame. I'm just kidding. No, Kevin's with us in spirit. Kevin is with us. He's in spirit. He's fine, people. Relax.
Yeah, you're setting it up.
The delivery was on par. Yeah. But no, for real though, Kevin couldn't make it today. He had some stuff going on. He not home in time. Shit happened.
Yeah, life happens.
Life does happen, right, Dustin?
Yeah, what he didn't want to tell us is he was at a Dallas Mavericks protest rally. No, I don't know.
To be completely fair, I would not blame the guy. I would not blame him.
No.
I mean, the Utah Jazz are pretty bad right now, too. The Jazz are terrible right now, but that's their own fault. But regardless. Dustin, how are you doing, my friend?
Yeah, I'm doing all right. It's been a busy week at work, but, you know, it's Friday night, and I get to sit down and chop it up with you. So all is well in the world.
That is delightful. I have a new statue that I forgot to show you. You've seen the Phantom Menace from like
I have
from Star Wars. Star Wars: The Phantom Menace.
Yes.
So everyone knows who Darth Maul is at this point. The movie's only been out for like 25 years.
Yeah.
Essentially. So my brother-in-law got me a little statue. He was in Disney like a couple months ago. And he brought me back this bad boy.
Oh man, that's pretty sweet.
So I believe this is entirely made of some kind of volcanic rock. I don't know if it's obsidian or some shit, but I don't know. But it's hard as a
hard as a rock.
It's hard as a rock. Yeah, there you go. So I mean, it's for those listening, it is a rock carving of Darth Maul, well, his head in particular. So
yeah. That looks pretty cool. And if you want to learn more about Darth Maul, if you saw the Phantom Menace somehow and you were just like, hey, how come they did that guy like that? If you want more Darth Maul stories, watch the Clone Wars if you haven't.
The Clone Wars is great.
Yeah. I loved it.
It's great.
Dave Filoni should be doing most of the Star Wars content now. So
I have this too.
That is pretty sweet.
This is from Raiders of the Lost Ark. This is a 3D printed statue.
By the way, that game is coming to PlayStation very soon. I believe April 3rd.
The Great Circle?
Yep. Indiana Jones and the Great Circle.
I want to try it, but like, I don't know. I mean, I've been soured by gaming as of like.
I have not.
Recently.
I kind of have because I've been really only playing a few multiplayer games with my friend. Like there's like Wednesday nights. Myself and two of my closest friends basically have like a standing Like Wednesday nights is the night we do the thing. But I've been getting into Elden Ring a little bit, and I think that
Really?
one's got its hooks in me a little bit. I played Bloodborne years ago. I didn't get very far. I only beat 2 bosses, but that was my first foray into Souls games. I liked it, but I was like, I don't have the smoke.
It's
to finish
really
this.
hard. I can tell you this. Bloodborne's really hard.
Yeah, and I was like, I do not have the smoke to finish this, and I've kind of stayed away from Souls games ever since, even though I've been intrigued. But Elden Ring, I don't know. There's something about it. Even though I look like death warmed over, I might play a little Elden Ring after the show. We'll see here.
Ooh, I have I just got a game like earlier this evening. Have you ever heard of Alan Wake?
Oh yeah.
So Alan Wake, for those who do not know what Alan Wake is, you play a writer, and he has a case of writer's block, but it's a thriller game. It's fantastic.
It's great. I started a playthrough. I got to finish it. I did it during a previous Extra Life stream of mine. I got through a good chunk of the first one. I got to get back to it, but Alan Wake is one of those games that I want to play during the fall. You know, when like the weather matches the vibe of the game.
At night, it's great.
Oh yeah.
Pitch black.
I should definitely I should stream and finish it. But did you get Alan Wake 2, my friend?
I have not, but I'm leading up to that. So
okay, all right.
So in between the events of Alan Wake and Alan Wake 2 and the American Nightmares in there somewhere, there was a game called Control.
Oh yes.
Which takes place during around the same time as Alan Wake.
Yes.
Same company too. Alan Wake does make an appearance.
Yep.
But I just got it, and it was. We have a little thing around like my friend group. I have a friend of mine, John, who was a co-host of mine on Time DBS for the longest time. And this is what I call a John recommendation game. So when he recommends something, it's usually gonna be pretty fucking good. So I have it. I have the disc, and he also gave me an external hard drive for the big boy behind me. The Series
nice.
X. So now that thing has 3 terabytes of storage.
Wow. All right.
So I am a long participant of the storage wars. So it's because it's like. You can attest this. Like the GameCube and the PS2 back in the day, all you needed was like a memory card and you're fine.
Yeah, yep.
The original Xbox back in the day had a built-in hard memory unit that, you can take apart and change the memory unit, but it was a pain in the dick.
Yeah.
But it was ridiculously massive in terms of, the amount of games you could put in, but the problem was the library was so fucking small.
Yeah.
The PS2 had a benefit where it's like you got your hands on, what was it, like a 16 megabyte memory card in your $3,000 worth of games a set. So
yes. You were pretty good with like a 32 megabit memory card. Yeah,
you were fine.
It was crazy, and then the things just morphed seemingly overnight into. Oh, this game is 60 gigs to install, and your hard drive is 65. Yep. You know,
pain in the ass.
Yeah.
Do you know what was even worse? Do you remember what the hell was it? Do you remember when Halo 4 first came out?
Vaguely, because I was a long time Nintendo, like Nintendo was my ride or die, and then they lost me after the Wii because I just got so angry. And I jumped. You ready for that? You ready for this? I mean, I still have a Switch, but I jumped from the Wii to a PS4. So
you'll know this then perfectly.
So I was like, oh my God,
You'll get this perfectly. So when Halo 4 was released, on the Xbox 360, it was 2 gigabytes. Of data.
Oh,
now, keeping in mind here, ladies and gentlemen, Skyrim on the Xbox 360 back in the day was 45 megabytes. I'm not kidding. So if ever you want to go back to old school gaming, for the love of God, get an Xbox 360 and find yourself a hard drive on those things.
Yeah.
They will fill that monstrous library that is the Xbox 360.
Yeah. It was a great library.
It was great.
A fantastic library that I didn't really. That was a generation of gaming that I missed.
The Wii was part of it.
Yeah, well, the Wii. I mean, can you really say it was part of it?
It was. I can defend. I can defend the Wii. I will defend the Wii.
No, I liked it. I had good times with it, but it just became apparent that outside of Nintendo, nobody knew how to develop games for that thing because power wise, it was more on par with a PlayStation 2. So it was a generation behind when it came out. It was tough. And the PS3 was way out of my price range back in the day. I mean, that infamous get a second job comment, that was always. Are we a video game podcast, ladies and gentlemen? No. And people out there, but this is fun
we have
right
fun
now.
Here.
Yeah.
We have fun here.
Yeah.
We do. We really do. That's the best part. Like, I mean, people of this show know my infamous gaming collection.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You know, one of the first episodes we did after the show was over, you gave me a tour. You gave me a VIP tour.
Yeah, it was ridiculous. It was that toolbox has gone from 2 drawers of games back to 3 to 1 drawer back to 2, and now it's back at 3.
All right.
Because of the external hard drive that John gave me. And it's just like, I can do stuff now.
Yeah.
So basically, I have, between the Xbox One and the Series X, I have 3.5 terabytes of storage between the 2 consoles.
Yeah. You're going to be
stupid.
Yeah, you're going to be doing all right. You're going to be doing
fine.
Right,
I mean,
sure.
it's and Megan will come up to me like, "Why do you have all this crap?" I said, "Why do you have all your Jonas Brothers crap?"
Yeah.
2 can play this game. 2 can play this game.
It's
so
true.
we
People
do have
love what
some
they love.
news. Well, this is true. We do have some news to get to. News and stuff. So delightful before we get onto the big juicy topics that we do have to, because a lot has happened, Dustin, in the last 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Holy crap, a lot has happened.
I know.
By a lot has happened, we mean free agency.
Mm-hmm.
Good God.
Yeah.
So we have a possible bearded gentleman joining us next week. Possibly.
Okay.
I will shout him out, though. But he was a guest on BS Sessions, and I highly recommend you guys go listen to Volume 35 of BS Sessions, and you will get to hear me pick this guy's brain as regards to Seahawk football, because he is great. He may be one of my all-time favorite guests, because I've said this to him before. It's like, dude, you have a glorious beard. Like, how did you get it to be that nice? I'm jealous.
Yeah, I mean, but you have a beard that's fantastic. Ryan has a beard that's fantastic. I cannot grow a beard.
You know what Ryan reminds me of?
Oh,
Do you
what's
remember
that?
God of War 4? Do you remember a little bit?
I didn't play God of War 4 because I wasn't on PlayStation by then.
So there one of the characters, Brock and Sindri, who were the dwarf twins.
Okay, yeah.
They're dwarf blacksmiths.
Okay.
I want you to go look up Brock from God of War 4.
I'll look it up
That's Ryan with a beard.
because I haven't played it yet, and I know all the Sony people are going to come after me in the comments, but I believe that those brothers make an appearance in God of War 2018 again, and Ragnarok.
Yes, they do. They do.
So
Brock is Ryan without a beard. That's essentially what he reminds me of.
All right.
So we also have, speaking of my fiance, we also have Smoothly Baked might return. I can't spell that correctly. That was horrible spelling. There we go. Thank you, StreamYard. Smoothly Baked returns, maybe. So we have talked about it. I have wanted to get this show, this stinking podcast back with her for, it's been months since we've done an episode. And I've wanted to do it with her, but she hates talking behind a microphone. I don't blame her. It can be a little intimidating at first, but once you get used to it, it's fun.
It can, but then, for me, it's the reverse. In most situations, I'm shy, but behind a microphone, I am not. But then the problem is, sometimes I'll be at work or something and I'll forget that I'm not behind a microphone, and then I'll be like, "Oh, I need to shut the heck up, man."
I've done that a few times.
Yeah,
I've done that. It's just like, shut up, Dan, please, for the love of God.
Yeah. I'm like, you're not podcasting right now.
You're not on the radio right now.
Yeah.
You're not in the air. It's all right. We also have the Staniel Sue Show stuff because for those who do not know, I run a solo podcast, which was originally was supposed to be for 15 to 20 minutes per episode. That has since turned into 45 minutes to an hour. And it's got a lot. And it was on its own page for a little bit on Spotify for podcasters. So what I wanted to do was I want to move all the Staniel Sue Show episodes that I've made, or just put everything from scratch, or just put everything onto that show and start a completely new format. But essentially, all contents of the Staniel Sue Show will be on its own separate podcasting page. And just completely new format, completely new system. But essentially, lessen the workload for yours truly. Good God.
Yeah, you got a lot going on, man.
Dude, I've had so much. You try running 5 podcasts. It's not fun.
Yeah, I wouldn't be able to do it.
I don't know how I do it. I really don't know. I'm being modest here. I really don't know how I do it. I don't know. I don't know how I've driven I don't know how I haven't driven myself insane. Look at me. I'm stuttering a little bit, for God's sakes. That's how insane I am. Oh, shit. But we do have a very interesting topic to get to start the program.
Yeah, this is how our takes from last show aged like sour milk, because you were like, "Oh, I think he's going to get a 5-year extension," and I'm like, "Oh, they're bidding high. They're bidding high so that no one will take the bait." And then his trade price plummeted, and then I also threw in the thing. I was like, "Oh, I hope Mekhi Becton signs," and then.
Let's also be honest here. Let's also be honest here. So, the Seahawks did something that they haven't. There you go. There's your microphone. Yeah, unplugged for a second there.
Yeah, I think my cable's getting a little dicey. I might have to get a new one.
Delightful.
Yeah.
So anyway, the Seahawks did something that they haven't done in 15 years, and that's they bought early. So, in that process, they also let go a lot of their other former players.
Yeah.
So we talked about Geno Smith, we talked about Tyler Lockett, we talked about Dre Jones, Rashawn Jenkins, George Fant, a lot of those guys. There's also one other rumor that I do want to get to before we do close out the program, and that involves a certain running back.
Oh.
So that's what I heard.
Oh, boy. All right.
So, DK Metcalf. I was all in favor of it. I was all in favor of the nonsense and the stupidity of the trade. Because after 3 days of sitting on it and going, you know what? This may be a stupid thing to do. It was a blessing in disguise a little bit because of what we got back. Because of the salary cap that we got back. Hey, speaking of Kevin, there he is. There he is. So, and then he started talking.
Yep.
And when he said the grass is greener on the other side, in Pittsburgh, might I add you.
Yeah.
DK Metcalf, for those who've lived under a rock, was traded to Pittsburgh for, the details have since been official, a 2nd and a 7th round pick from the Steelers. And then he was later signed to a 5-year extension with Pittsburgh. By the way, whatever, $30 million a year, $150 million total, some godly amount of money guaranteed. And it's like, the Seahawks weren't willing to do that. But at the same point, the more you sit on it and the more it marinates, the more you go, this steak or this chicken taste like shit. Like, I was annoyed horribly when he said, oh, yeah, the grass is greener on the other side in Pittsburgh. Like, first of all, let's also understand this. DK Metcalf, quote, wanted to be traded to a contender.
Yeah. You were on a 10-win team, DK. You were on a 10-win team.
Granted, Pittsburgh is going to be a 9-win team, probably playoffs. But that's only because they will not fire Mike Tomlin.
Yeah, but the other thing, here's the thing, and I've talked about it a little bit with Ryan on No Credentials Required, but I saved a lot of my Seahawk takes. I did have a small reaction to Cooper Kupp, which we'll get to, but I saved a lot of my Seahawk takes for this show. And I've been very complimentary of DK, saying that he was a main reason that JSN had his breakout last year because of the attention that DK Metcalf drew.
Yep.
But some of the stuff that has come out, if he thinks that the Seahawks were further away than the Steelers are as they're presently as they're presently constructed, because I would argue he went to a situation that is remarkably similar to the Seahawks. The Steelers are in a tougher division because the Steelers have to contend with the Bengals and the Ravens.
I don't know. I mean,
the Steelers are in a tougher division.
They're in a tougher division, yes, but they're in a worse situation. Because the difference here between the Seahawks and the Steelers is that they fired their coach.
Yeah.
Carroll's gone.
Well, yeah.
The Steelers version of Pete Carroll's still freaking there. I don't know how. I don't understand how.
That's my point. If he thinks that the Steelers is an upgrade over his situation in Seattle, I think he is mistaken. Because right now, they don't have a quarterback. The Steelers do not have a quarterback. Justin Fields is on the Jets. Yeah. Russell Wilson has visited with the Giants, which look at that list of luminaries. Russell Wilson, he's at the top of that list, but then they got a visit with Jameis Winston. Can you imagine Jameis Winston on the Giants next year? But I digress.
By the way, Jameis Winston did actually sign with the Giants.
He did? He actually signed?
2 years, $16 million.
Oh, man. Oh, boy. That's going to be quite a season that they have. Because I saw a meme, and I was like, oh, that can't be real. And then I didn't get a chance to verify it before the show. But DK Metcalf forgets the Steelers as presently constructed. Now, I'm not going to argue their wide receiver room. You got George Pickens and you got DK Metcalf, and then you got Mike Williams, former Charger, who is there.
Who's with the Chargers again, by the way?
Oh, he is with the Chargers. Okay.
This is how much Dustin has missed in terms of NFL news.
So they did not
When
retain.
I'm in charge of this, we have a problem.
No, they did not. So they did not retain. Okay, I'm aging like sour milk again. But
I got you. Hold on, give me a second. Finish your point, I got you.
So their receiver room, you got George Pickens and you got DK Metcalf. DK Metcalf is fiery. He wants to win. George Pickens talks an awful lot. Talented athlete. Both of these guys want to be the alpha dog on the team. And who is going to be their quarterback? Because there are rumblings out there that Mike Tomlin is aggressively pursuing one Aaron Rodgers, who met with the Steelers for 6 hours today. I'm going to
laugh hilariously if that is the case.
Yeah, this is the thing, though. I'm going to say a take that a lot of people are probably going to say to me that I'm crazy. Aaron Rodgers, is he that much of an upgrade over Geno Smith at this point in his career? Because I'm going to argue no. Geno is more mobile at this stage. Aaron is going to want to install his offense wherever he goes. He's going to want to bring in he's not going to play within somebody else's system, which is why I don't see this Tomlin-Rodgers marriage working out as presently constructed. But my whole meandering point is that DK Metcalf, thought that the Steelers was a better situation than the Seahawks. I disagree, sir. Because you have to contend with the Bengals and the Ravens, and I think both of those teams are better than the squad you just went to.
And by the way, we're also completely ignoring the elephant in the room. The Seahawks have a crap ton of money still.
Yeah, they restructured. They've done restructuring and all these releases.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
I mean, I had a lot of conflicting feelings about this move, and and he can answer for himself because he's in the chat. But I think both you and Kevin are more positive on the Darnold move than I am overall.
We'll get to Sam in a bit.
Yes,
but the Seahawks as of currently right now, courtesy of overthecap.com, have $64 million in cap space right now.
Yeah.
After all the moves that they have made, acquiring 2 receivers, 1 quarterback, 1 pass rusher, a couple special teamers, and 1 swing tackle, they still have over $60 million in cap space.
Yeah.
And another thing that I will credit Mike McDonald for is that what Pete hasn't done is that Mike has clearly just noticed the flaws of this team. He goes, okay, where can we improve? And where can we cut down, the bad eggs from? Where can we cut out the slices of blame pie here? So already he made the Metcalf trade, the Geno Smith trade, the Tyler Lockett release, Draymond Jones, Rayshon Jenkins, George Fant. It keeps going. And during last season, Ernest Jones came here in relief of Jerome Baker, and Terrell Dotson was released for Tyrese Knight. How'd that work? Beautifully. Rayshon Jenkins was replaced by Kobe Bryant. How'd that work out? Brilliantly. Josh Jobe filled in for Trey Brown, who's now at the 49ers, but we'll also talk about the rest of the NFC West later in the show. But they're filling in replacements with, dare I say, better alternatives?
Yeah, I mean, well, so far, the jury's still out on some of those. And would the fan in me would have loved to find a way to keep Tyler Lockett, but
they might find a way to do it still.
Yeah, I mean, they might, because they might, they have cap space. They might say, do you want to come back at a reduced, who knows? You don't know. And there's a lot of stuff on social media. I read if this is true, that DK was very angry with the way that Tyler Lockett was used or not used last year by Ryan Grubb. And I guess supposedly, if things are to be believed, Tyler Lockett went to DK and said, I don't know if I'm going to be here next year because they're not using me. And at that point, DK said, well, what's this role for me in the offense? But we don't know how much that is true. Maybe that contributes to the Grubb fire. I mean, who knows? Who knows? We don't know.
Who knows? They
we
don't say
know
anything.
We don't know the behind the scenes. We don't know what's real. We don't know what's not real. But I think we're going to miss DK Metcalf. I think a lot of the fans that are coming out now have sour grapes because he's not here anymore. But to act like DK was a scrub is ridiculous. But I do not think it's going to work out in Pittsburgh as well as people think it is. As a matter of fact, it could be volatile. I mean, you don't know.
It could be hilarious.
Yeah.
Comedy's great.
But the one thing that I want to get your take on, because it's been a long time since we've been on these airwaves or whatever you'd like to call it, is that I was just shocked because they were looking for a first and a third, and then all of a sudden it's just like, oh, he's gone for a second. And it was, we had been told, for all indications were that the Seahawks were adamant that it was a first and a third or nothing.
I think they were shopping him around for however long their trade request was, 2 days a week.
Yeah.
And, John was calling phones. He was calling people. He was like, calling Brian Kuhnhurst with the Packers, Omar Khan with the Steelers. I'm pretty sure he was calling various other teams. The Raiders may have pitched a call in there.
They might have.
They might have. Pete's there.
Yep.
But I think when he saw the value of Deebo Samuel, what he got, I think John was like, you know what? I want to see the best offer I can get. I'm going to trade him. I want to see what the best offer I can get is. And Pittsburgh ponied up, and I will give them credit for it. They took the best offer they got.
Yeah, that's true. Because now Deebo was a little out of shape last year. I think by his own admission, and also people were saying he came in overweight. He was never, and he had the injuries. But I still think Deebo Samuel, the Redskins, the Commanders got
all right.
I must really be tired today. Holy hell. But the Commanders got a steal. He is worth more than a 5th round pick, for sure.
Yes. Do you remember when Michael Bennett got traded to the Eagles?
Yeah.
He got traded for a 5th round pick also.
Yep.
Remember that? Remember that trade, ladies and gentlemen? Kevin, you remember that? So it's, I don't know. I mean, and I think more moves are going to be coming because especially with, remember David Andrews, the center for the Patriots, he's still out there.
Yeah.
I don't know where he's going. He could be on the streets for a while. I think what they want to do is they want to see where the market goes for the rest of these players and pounce on whatever they can get. Because remember, they still have some holes, but they don't have a ton of holes.
Yeah, I mean, and we'll get to it when we discuss the new look offense, but and let's not forget, and I'd like to, the two of you, obviously, you'll probably remember better than me, but this is one of the highest number of draft picks that the Seahawks have in a long time, I feel like.
They have 10 picks officially, yes.
Yeah, in recent history. I miscounted. I thought it was 11. But yeah, I mean, they're clearly going to do something between the combination of the clearing of the cap space. They went from negative cap space to what they have now,
64. Yep.
To and also with more picks than I can remember in recent history.
You owe John Schneider an apology, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah. You owe him an apology.
Well, you and I said at the birth of this show that the John Schneider hate was irrational. We've said that for a while.
We did. We did. We were the first to say it. So with that being said, we have to go to break, ladies and gentlemen, because this show ain't free. So with that being said, Brent, take it away. This show ain't free, so time for some ads.
Righteous Felon Craft Jerky is the official jerky of Belly Up Sports. For over a decade, Righteous Felon Craft Jerky has led the American meat snack revolution by concocting delicious, adventurous, U.S.-sourced jerky recipes for uncompromising carnivores across the country. With 15 different flavors to choose from, Righteous Felon has all jerky lovers covered, and by using promo code BELLYUP, you will get 15% off your purchase at RighteousFelon.com. Do your taste buds a favor today and rip into a bag of Righteous Felon jerky.
Hey, Justin, we have plenty of other free agency moves to talk about because a lot has happened. So, first of all, River Raycraft signed with the Seahawks, and I described to you and Kevin both. He's a larger Wes Welker to a sort of degree, kind of. I don't know how else to describe him.
Okay,
but he moves a little bit like Wes, not to the degree of Wes Welker, but close enough. I just thought, former Dolphin. There you go. Yes, yeah. Wes Welker did play for the Dolphins for a hot minute.
Yes, he did.
For those of you Patriots fans out there that think, we drafted Wes Welker. No, you didn't.
No, you didn't.
No, you didn't. He was an undrafted free agent from Texas Tech. Screw off. Anyway, so we have out of the 8 moves that they made? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yes, 8 moves that they've made so far in free agency. We're only going to cover 4 for right now because There's still going to be more coming. We don't know to the degree of what's going to be coming out next. So we will talk first off with Marquez Valdez-Scantling, because I am not spelling that name.
Yeah.
That is way too many letters.
And also, it's easier to type NVS.
It's like Equinemius St. Brown.
No, yeah. Forget
From
about
Egypt. So, you and Kevin both were not a fan of this.
No,
But
and
then,
I'm still not.
But I will change that tune in 5 minutes.
Okay.
So, Marquez Valdez-Scantling came from New Orleans. He was with the Saints last season.
Yes.
Who was his offensive coordinator? Clint Kubiak.
Yes.
Marquez Valdez-Scantling is primarily a deep threat target, and he's great at it. But also, Clint Kubiak comes from the wide zone system. Who runs the wide zone offense? Why? The Los Angeles Rams, the 49ers with Kyle Shanahan. Speaking of Shanahan, Mike Shanahan.
Right, yes.
Who was the inventor of the wide zone.
I mean, Mike Shanahan, anyone could run in that system.
Yep. Terrell Davis won an MVP.
Yep.
There you go. And 2,000 yards. But there you go. So, at first I was like, oh, this is interesting. And then the more I was like, oh, I know what they're doing. They're trying to bring the wide zone into their system. And for those football nerds out there, you will know about this system being a very offensive line friendly system. Very friendly for offensive linemen. So, I don't know. I think this is a really sneaky good move. And for the value of it, not bad.
Yeah.
Not bad.
A 1 year deal I have no problem with.
No.
But if I may, and based on Kevin's comment, I got to shout out 2 of them because he said I would have left MVS at the side of the road.
Wow.
And it's not that I have a dislike for MVS. I will admit that MVS he really came on in New Orleans last year when they had some injuries
really
at the
did.
position.
He really did.
But here's my counter. Who were his quarterbacks in 2 of the previous stops that he had? His quarterbacks respectively were Aaron Rodgers, in Green Bay, and Patrick Mahomes in Kansas City, who is notorious for getting everyone the ball in Kansas City. Love him or hate him, you can't deny Patrick Mahomes shares the ball. And Aaron Rodgers, if he loves a receiver, he will bring him wherever he goes. I give you the case of Alan Lazard as a New York Jet, Randall Cobb as a New York Jet. Aaron Rodgers did not make any effort for the Jets to sign Marquez Valdez-Scantling. His numbers were not great in Green Bay, with the exception of 1 season. And then to go to Kansas City and not be able to find a way to eat in that offense when Patrick Mahomes is notoriously a ball distributor, that's where my fear is. As long as MVS doesn't have to be the number 1, he will slot in. He will slot in as probably the number 3, debatably the number 4. So so that's where, and obviously MVS was the first signing. So I think that's part of, they took care of quarterback, which we're going to get to. And then we're like, okay, who's he going to throw to besides JSN? And MVS was the first name that came up. I think that's part of the reason why I was so disappointed. But it's because I'm also thinking, okay, he didn't put up crazy numbers with Aaron Rodgers and Patrick Mahomes as his quarterbacks. That, to me, is a bad sign.
He did put up respectable numbers with Derek Carr last year for the Saints. So
yes, he did.
Credit where credit is due.
Yes.
And the Clint Kubiak factor does help with that regard.
Mm-hmm.
We also do have actually, me personally, my favorite signing of all four of them.
Oh man, this one
This one was nice.
there's so much. I mean, I like this one, but also DeMarcus Lawrence just putting it right out there. He's going, I knew I wasn't going to win in Dallas.
I love it. Shout out to Hawk Blocker, by the way, Brian Demhauser. Shout out to him for getting that clip on there. So it's DeMarcus Lawrence, who was with the Cowboys for 11 years. He's not going to give you 12 sacks.
Yeah, those days are done. Those days are done for sure.
He was never going to give you 12 sacks. What he is going to give you is phenomenal, and I mean downright phenomenal, against the run. Arguably the best run defending defensive end in the entire National Football League.
Which is sorely needed because the Seahawks
Correct.
for the last couple of years can't stop the run at all. They couldn't stop the run. So, I mean, this was a smart signing. Smart signing, in my opinion.
Correct. At first I was like, oh, they're really doing something. And then we had the discussion of rebuild or retool. This is definitely not a rebuilding move. They don't go out and get DeMarcus Lawrence if they're rebuilding. They're not rebuilding.
That I will agree with you because Kevin and I we were thinking rebuild, and you were saying I think it's a retool.
No, there's no way you rebuild it. There's no way you rebuild a team like this after a 10-win year.
Yeah.
No way.
You can't.
You can't.
Now, would I argue that they've taken big swings? I will give both John Schneider and Coach McDonald this. They have taken big swings.
Yep.
This
Early
is either,
too.
This is either going to pay off huge or it's going to go down. But you can see they have a plan and they're sticking to it. We may not always know what the plan is, but they're sticking to it. And if you look at some of the moves, you're right about wanting to implement aspects. In my opinion, you are right about wanting to implement aspects of that Shanahan tree system. And there is no denying that they want to focus on the run more. You don't bring in a name like Clint Kubiak to not focus on the run.
Correct. And it's going to help the four running backs big time with Kenneth Walker, Sharps, McIntosh, and George Holani.
Yeah.
It's going to help the four of them big time because, for God's sakes, get this running game going. Now we get to the de facto one of the two wild cards in this factor. Out goes Geno Smith, in comes Sam Darnold. At first, I was like, that's a lot of money for Sam Darnold. And then the details kept coming out. I was like, this is a great deal. This is a solid deal. For a guy who, yes, understandably so, before we go down the rabbit hole of, oh, it's just one great season in Minnesota, blah, 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 who has been perennially average. He's been an average quarterback.
Yep.
In the NFL since he was drafted third by the Jets.
Yeah.
He's been average. We get it. His last two games in Minnesota, alarming, depending on who you ask.
Yeah.
Yes, we get it. 9 sacks against the Rams. We get it. But also, who had a worse offensive line than the Seahawks? The Vikings.
Yeah.
So there you go. But also,
and the Rams defense overperformed, I think, from where most people thought they would be. I know that I thought the Rams defense was gonna suffer without Aaron Donald, and
we were wrong.
We were totally wrong. The Rams defense, legitimate. Obviously, you don't get as far as they did without a legitimate defense.
Again, what helps Darnold a lot is this system. Clint Kubiak was his quarterback coach in San Francisco when he was a backup for the 49ers. So he kind of has an understanding of this offense. We don't know because we're two dudes behind a microphone. Let's be honest here.
Yeah.
So we don't know. But I don't think this keeps them from drafting a quarterback, but what helps a lot, what gives Darnold the advantage over Geno, I think, is that, holy Christmas, Sam can throw the piss out of the football. he can yeet that sucker. So he may have twig arms, but that man can sling it. So, and he's a bit mobile too. That does help him a little bit. I'm excited, but also what I did mention to the two of you guys is they could get out of this contract at the end of this year with no dead cap.
Yeah, that's a good. That made me feel a little bit better that they basically have an escape clause if it really goes south.
Pretty much,
because that's my trepidation, is not to beat this drum, but sometimes I can be a data-driven guy, and Sam Darnold has given us a lot more. Is last year in Minnesota a flash in the pan? We won't know. Now, Baker Mayfield, a lot of people were saying the same thing. Oh, the first year in Tampa, was it an aberration? Does he deserve? But no, Baker Mayfield now has played his way into that long-term contract that the Bucs gave him. He's proven that he's more of a bridge quarterback. Now, more than a bridge quarterback, excuse me. Now, can Sam Darnold do the same thing? Part of what concerns me about Sam, now what I like about the deal, the positives on this deal, is we forget how young Sam Darnold was when he was drafted out of USC by the New York Jets. He is significantly, I believe Sam Darnold, 27 years old.
You are correct.
That's a lot younger than Geno Smith.
Significantly.
So that's what I like, is that if Sam performs well, then maybe they extend him. But 3 years, he's 27. This deal lasts until he's 30 years old. And at that time, you can decide. Maybe you already have the future guy. We don't know. But I do like that they got younger at the position. I'm just a little trepidatious because Sam Darnold, while you said he can move a little bit, and it's true, he can, but he's not as mobile as Geno was. And behind this offensive line as presently constructed, although they did improve last year, and we were happy with some of the progress that was made, you need a quarterback who can move a little bit behind. And let's just call it what it is. In the NFL, the age of the statue quarterback, the classic drop back passer, that basically doesn't exist anymore. So you need somebody who, and Sam, I would give Geno a plus over Sam in the mobility department. Now,
you're not wrong in that regard.
What I'm hoping is that Sam Darnold will cut down on the red zone interceptions. But my thing that I'm concerned about is, will Sam Darnold's progress continue? How much of his amazing transformation last year was due to Kevin O'Connell, who seems to be, with each passing year, there's something in the water. You know how the San Francisco Giants in baseball seemingly can rebuild a pitcher? If a pitcher has a tough year, he goes to San Francisco, all of a sudden he's good again, parlays it into a contract somewhere else. And part of me is afraid. I'm like, yeah. And I'm just like, is Minnesota becoming the football version of that? Is Kevin O'Connell that good at with quarterbacks specifically? But who knows? Who knows? I want to give Sam Darnold a chance. I'm just a little nervous.
I am a little nervous too, but what gives me a little bit more confidence is, the offense that he's in. Mm-hmm. So that does give me a little bit more confidence. So I'm pumped. A little skeptical, but confident.
Yep. Okay.
We also have, judging by the title of this episode, we do know the big reason why we did this. So the Rams released Cooper Kupp after failing to find a trade partner, I think within days.
Yeah.
Let's also be honest here. This was happening.
Yeah.
The second he got released, we all thought, okay, he's going to the Seahawks. He's from Yakima. Washington. He went to school in Eastern Washington.
Yeah.
He's from that area. It fits like a stinking glove.
Yeah.
Jack, one of my co-hosts at Time to BS, big Rams fan, he says, I am hoping that you are getting the Cooper Kupp that won the Triple Crown. and not the Cooper Kupp that tore his ACL, broke his hamstring, broke his ankle, blah, 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 blah. I hope you get a healthy Cooper Kupp this year.
Yeah.
Because if you do, good God, that's going to fit like a freaking glove. Like a glove.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's what I am hoping as well, because that's my only concern with the Kupp deal. If he is able to regain any of the form that he had, this is going to be a great signing.
Great signing.
And also, let's call it what it is.
Cheap.
He's probably not happy that he was released by the Rams.
No.
He did not. He made it clear, by the way, he was polite in his farewell to the Rams, but he announced early, he's like, hey, they're not bringing me back. My time here is done. So let's not discount the fact that he went to someone who he will get to put on a uniform and hopefully prove to the Rams what they left.
I can't wait. I can't wait to hear the 12s.
Yeah.
It's at Lumen Field.
Yeah.
Just scream Coop.
Yeah.
Whenever he catches a pass. I can't wait.
They're
going to cause an earthquake.
And also, what really makes me happy about this signing is if Cooper Kupp is healthy, which I realize with some of his recent injury health history is a little bit of an if. He is a safety blanket for Sam Darnold.
Yes.
He is someone that you can get the ball to if the pocket collapses and you can't find an option. Cooper Kupp is going to get open. Matthew Stafford was if I remember correctly, he was extremely complimentary. Say when he first got to LA, saying something like Cooper Kupp always finds a way back to the ball. I just look and I know he's there. And I'm hoping he can do the same thing.
It's like Chris Hogan back in the day. Remember Chris Hogan?
Oh, yeah.
He was nicknamed 7-Eleven with the Dolphins. Why? He's always open.
Yeah.
I don't know how he was always open. He was always open.
Yeah.
I don't understand it. It was like, oh, my God. I think that this trio of receivers that they have right now, because you throw Bobo in there, too, and Bobo can play.
Yeah.
I like Jake Bobo. I love Jake Bobo.
I like him, too.
Do you remember the receiving core of the 2005 Seahawks?
Oh man, we're going back. All right, 2005. Let me go in the Wayback Machine. Was it Deion Branch?
No, Branch did not get there until I think 2007.
Oh, okay. All right. And I'm trying to go back 2005. Oh man. All right, that's in the throes of the Holmgren era.
Yep.
Joe Juravicius.
Yes.
The Holmgren Ruskell era. Okay. So we got Daryl Jackson. We don't talk about him, but we got Jeremy Stevens. He was at tight end.
Good Lord, yeah.
We got let's see. Okay, now my memory's jogging. Joe Juravicius was on that team.
Joe Juravicius is on there.
We had Seneca Wallace lining up at receiver sometimes.
Quarterback, yep.
Yep. We had, let's see who else. Oh, come on. Who was on the Corin Robinson? Was he still
No, he was not. Peter Warwick
Warwick took over for him.
DJ Hackett was there too.
I loved DJ Hackett, okay?
He can run.
I loved DJ Hackett.
So, what did the 2005 team and this team have in common? This current receiving core have in common? They're all, for the most part, they're all small.
Yeah.
They're all small guys.
And I think, correct me if I'm wrong, and I'm going to hate myself if I get this one wrong because his jersey's in my closet. Was Bobby Ingram also still on the team?
Bobby Ingram was on that team. Yes, he was. He was the slot guy.
I loved him out of the slot.
He was their slot receiver. So I think another thing that you have with the wide zone offense is that a majority of receivers that they have are all great route runners, and majority of them are slot guys.
Yep.
2017, the Los Angeles Rams had Cooper Kupp and Robert Woods, plus Sammy Watkins as a deep threat.
Yeah, I would argue on that 2005 team. Man, you really took me in the time machine. That was fun.
Hell yeah.
Peter Warwick, because Peter Warwick was on the Bengals previous to the signing with the Seahawks, I think. So I would say the only traditional wide out receivers for that team were Daryl Jackson and probably Peter Warwick. But at that stage of his career, Peter Warwick, once a standout at, I believe, Florida State, was more of a slot guy. Was more of a slot guy. So you got Ingram was a classic slot guy. DJ Hackett, I loved him. Yeah, he was go run a streak, go run an act,
Yeah. And then if you want to go a year later to 2006, 2007, Nate Burleson got there.
Yep, Nate Burleson. I remember that.
Also, that was majority of a slot receiver. Yep.
Yeah, that was the poison pill in response to the Hutchinson deal there.
Yeah.
Man. And then let's see, Sidney Rice was on the Seahawks.
Sidney Rice did not get there until 2011.
Yeah, it was later. I thought that was going to be a good signing, but it just didn't work out.
But the 2015 team had Jermaine Kearse, Paul Richardson, Doug Baldwin, Tyler Lockett as a rookie.
Yep.
And Ricardo Lockett was there too. But what you notice, the majority of these players, so the receiving core currently as constructed, consists of Jackson Smith and Jigba, Cooper Kupp, Marquez Valdez-Scantling, Derek Young, Jake Bobo, River Raycraft, and that's it.
We'll have to see.
What do they all have in common?
They're slot guys.
A majority of them are slot guys.
Yeah, and I mean, JSN was moved to the slot, and he was amazing.
Natural. He was a natural. Yeah. So I'm excited. I'm
excited to see how River flows in this offense.
Where is it? Where is it? Oh, Jesus Christmas.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
I really worked to get that in there.
You did. I'm shocked you didn't say it sooner.
I was trying.
You were trying to get in there.
Yeah.
Oh, Kevin's probably going like why I made that joke earlier, and then you're responding to him with this.
Oh, boo-hoo! Let me play a sad song for you on the world's smallest violin. This is serious. I know. This really is the world's smallest violin. See?
That's a great meme right there. So we do have to unfortunately get to break real quick before we close out the show with some more topics, because there was a lot to fit in for an hour and a half, hour 45-minute show. So thank God for that.
Yes.
Thank God for that. So with that being said, this show ain't free. So Ryan, play us the bills. This show ain't free. So time for some ads.
Hey everyone, it's Ryan from No Credentials Required to talk to you about one of our newest partners at Belly Up Sports, SeatGeek. Yeah, live sports is great on television, but the feeling of being at the arena is a priceless experience. That's why our friends at SeatGeek are there to help you find the best tickets at the best prices. Not only can you get tickets to sporting events, but you can also get tickets to concerts, comedy shows, musicals, and more. Search for your desired event now at SeatGeek.com, enter promo code BellyUpSports at checkout, and you save $20 off your first purchase. SeatGeek. Life's an event. We have the tickets.
There was a bit of breaking news that just hit, but more rumors than anything else. So there is a little bit of Kenneth Walker rumors going around here. So rumor around the street is that the Raiders had pitched in a call for Kenneth Walker, the Seahawks running back, and I hang up the phone immediately.
Yeah, you have to. You have to.
So there was a couple comments on Seahawk pages that were like, yeah, for the Raiders' first-round pick, we got you. Like, this is how invaluable this guy is when healthy. When healthy is the key here.
The only I'd be like, okay, if you want to start talking about Brock Bowers, I'd listen, but that's it. That's it.
They're not getting Brock Bowers for Kenneth Walker, but I hear what you're saying. I know. I hear what you're saying, but like I get it, but no.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, no way.
Just no. So we'll just get that out of the gate. We also have the draft is officially almost a month away.
Oh man.
Oh boy, I'm excited. The Hawks have 3 picks in the first 52 selections, including pick number 18, 50, and 52. So some have said they could go quarterback round 1. Some say they could go offensive line. What the hell was that? Where that just turned into Alabama?
Offensive line.
I have a joke for you. What generation is Forrest Gump from?
I don't know. Which one?
Gen A.
Oh, man.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
Lieutenant Dan, ice cream. I love that movie. When he crashes into the when he jumps off the boat, swims to Lieutenant Dan, he's talking to him, and then the boat crashes into the dock, and he just goes, "It's my boat."
It's my boat. People are looking at us like,
What you have done has made God very unhappy.
I should get more VeggieTales memes down the road.
All right.
It's such a great idea. So what do you think the Hawks will do? Offensive line? Like,
I think
I think it's the obvious.
I think they got to try to go offensive line for sure. They've lost out on some people that they're talking to.
Yep.
And like I said too, the offensive line did improve last year. They shuffled it around a little bit, and also Lucas getting healthy helped. But I think they have to invest more in the offensive line, if not for the fact that they want to emphasize the run. What helps you do that? A good offensive line.
Yeah.
But the other thing that I really think they could do, I feel like they're building up these picks for ammunition for a trade. Now, I don't know whether they would trade up or they would trade back to acquire more picks. But
Hear me out. Hear me out.
Okay.
Call the Colts right now. Call them, please.
Oh, who, for Daniel Jones?
No, for Quentin Nelson, you smartass.
Yeah, I know.
I would take Quentin Nelson. Oh, your mic's unplugged. Check your mic. Technical difficulties. Nope, can't hear you. Can't hear you.
Check.
Nope. There you are.
Checking it. Got it. I gotta remember to not move.
What cord do you have for that thing?
It's just a USB. It's a USB cable.
Is it USB-C?
No, it's like the old, it's USB 2.0 or 3.0.
Oh, those are easy to find.
Yeah. I can grab a new one.
Go to Walmart.
Yeah, I'll grab a new one. I'll get a backup. I'll get a backup for sure.
I always make sure I have 3 sets of cables.
Yeah.
Because seriously, believe, for those technology nerds out there, the original Xbox has the current power cord for the Xbox Series X. That little thing that looks like a pair of glasses.
Yeah.
So that was the original cord. Yes, Kevin, I agree. Offensive line.
Yes.
They have to go offensive line.
They must.
They must. There's nobody there. Oh boy, but I don't know what they have a plan. Yeah. They have a plan to do something. We don't know what it is. It's probably for the best, to be completely fair.
Yeah.
To be completely fair, we have no idea what they're going to do. No idea. And I'm very pumped to see exactly where the direction goes, because at the same point, they do like to reach on some picks. They do.
Yeah,
every now and then.
They've done it.
They have done it, but
now the crazy thing is this is going to be Schneider's first draft without Pete Carroll. So
second.
Oh, second. My apologies. Second. So we will be
You're going to sleep after this.
Yeah.
You're going to bed after this.
I have to. Yes, I have to.
It's 9:30. I got you. Don't worry.
Yeah. No. So it will be his second, but I feel like they didn't reach as much. I felt like some of the reaches may have been Pete influenced, because we all know if Pete
LJ Collier.
Yes, if Pete had a feeling about a player, he had final say on moves, and he would campaign for said player.
Rashad Penny.
Yeah. Which Rashad Penny, I can't believe the year that he had, because when healthy, he was good. But then the Eagles signed him to that contract and just sat him the entire year. He was a healthy scratch all the time.
I call me crazy.
Yeah.
I would convince him to unretire.
Yeah.
I'm not kidding. I would
Yeah,
convince him to unretire and be like, hey, you want to sign with us for a year?
Yeah.
See what you can do?
Yeah.
I would. I absolutely would, because imagine this. Penny, Charbonnet, Walker, McIntosh.
Yeah. No,
How many yards can you get for those 4 guys?
Yeah, I would like it.
Oh,
yeah.
good Lord, please. That'd be amazing. That'd be amazing. So, which leads to our expectations for 2025 thus far. Because the Cardinals have been, to quote Jackson Bevins, trip over their own dicks every year for the last 30 years. The 49ers are imploding.
Yeah.
The Rams are
49ers
fossils.
surprise me. The 49ers have surprised me. I mean,
They did not surprise me. I will tell you why. And then the Rams are just flip a coin.
yeah, but I have been very, and maybe to use an old Bill Simmons term, and I know that obviously I haven't been as on it this show, all right? But Bill Simmons used to say, like, the reverse jinx was a thing. Am I trying to do this to the Rams? I don't think so. But as presently constructed, I think the division is the Rams' division to lose next year.
Correct. I'm not disagreeing with you on that part.
Yeah.
So, do you think the Rams will be better or worse in 2025? I think we answered that question perfectly.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think not to do a cop out, but I think they'll be largely the same team that they were this year. I do like the Devontae Adams signing. I don't think it's a bad signing at all. I think it's a better landing spot than following Aaron Rodgers around or some of the other particular landing spots. I think Stafford, if you protect him, still can play.
Yeah.
So I think that I don't know that they advance as far as they did last year, but I feel like they stayed the same. They didn't, and to my clearly untrained eye, they did not vacillate that much. I think they could be, I think they'll be about the same, maybe slightly worse, because maybe they caught lightning in a bottle with that defense a little bit last year.
We'll see where that goes. The Cardinals, maybe they're a surprise.
They could be. I've always said it. Kyler has talent. It's just, will they? And I've been, since he took over there, I've been very complimentary of Jonathan Gannon. He's
been good.
He gets them to play hard. He gets them to, they will run through walls for him. Their defense has been sneaky good at points, and then they just seem to regress. But the thing that baffles me about the Cardinals, how do you have a receiver the caliber of
Marvin
Harrison Jr., and you don't get him the ball at all? And then you have Kyler Murray coming out saying, it's not my job to get him the ball. Yes, it is, Kyler.
It
Yes,
is your
it
job.
is.
You're the quarterback. It's not like they pay you shitloads of money.
Yeah.
By the way, the Cardinals did also sign Dalvin Tomlinson and Josh Sweat.
The Josh Sweat signing, I think, is a good sign.
Yeah, that's a good move. They also brought in Jay Curran, former Seahawk, by the way, to play guard. Yeah, sure. I mean, again, it's early. It's very early.
Yeah, it is.
It's very early. One thing that we, myself and Jack, will collectively laugh about is that, good God, the 49ers stink this year. Please,
Yeah.
for the love of God. For the love of God. Because here's where my patience is at with the 49ers. They lost a lot of guys.
Yes, they did.
Dre Greenlaw's gone.
Went to the Broncos, didn't he?
He went to the Broncos.
Yeah.
Javon Hargrave released. Malik Collins released. Traveris Ward traded or released. Deebo Samuel traded.
Mm-hmm.
And they signed Mac Jones to a 2-year deal. You don't sign a backup quarterback to a 2-year deal unless you think Brock Purdy's going.
Yeah.
They're either going to pay Brock Purdy or they're going to let him walk.
Yeah, which would be
catastrophic.
Yeah, for them. And especially, let's not forget, now, a lot of people have been very complimentary of John Lynch and the drafts that he's done since he's been there and some of the trades that he's pulled off. But let's not forget how badly they missed on Trey Lance. They drafted him early. Now, to their credit, they did realize their mistake and try to pivot. And they got, what was it, a 4th round pick out of the Cowboys? But their talent evaluations, they had, you go back just a couple of years, and it looked like the 49ers had a nucleus to be the dominant team in this division for years to come. And man, the wheels are falling off
down fast.
Yeah. Yep.
It's not like we have mentioned it before on this program several times. Oh, you said it too? You did too? You did? All right, cool. That guy said it too. So
yeah.
It's John Cena, by the way.
Oh, man. He's just a human, everybody. He's not a heel. He's not a face. He's a human.
That still shocks me that still shocked me after that heel turn. It still shocked me. But I'm like, this was fucking brilliant. Anyway, so I don't think the Niners are going to be the de facto worst team in this division, like definitively the worst team.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, George Kittle's still there. McCaffrey on one leg is still there. Trent Williams is still there at 38 years old. Nick Bosa's still there. Fred Warner's still there.
Yep.
So they're gonna get into fist fights. But I don't want to make assumptions because I don't like making predictions anymore. Because to be completely fair, we're not fucking experts. Let's be real here.
No, clearly I'm not. Jesus, this is my worst podcast ever. Getting a lot of mistakes tonight.
Wow.
No.
Why is that? Why? Because fuck them, that's why.
But once you jogged my memory, I did a pretty good job with the 2005 receivers. I'll give myself that.
Your brain was going like this.
What the hell is that?
May the 49ers plunge to the bottom of the AFC? NFC? Brain? What? I have you to thank for that, Dustin. You have infected my brain.
I did.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, but I'm with you. I'm not going to shovel dirt on the 49ers just yet. But, man, it is crazy to watch this. But you never know.
They might trade Ayuk too. They might trade Brandon Ayuk, which is hilarious to think about.
Yeah, that's back in the news. Yeah.
Can you imagine they trade Brandon Ayuk after they just signed to $35 million a year? That's fireable. To be completely fair, that's a fireable offense.
Yeah.
But they won't do it.
No,
they won't. They might, but they won't. We'll see. They're still in cap hell. I'm curious. Yes. I'm curious now. Hold on. To the internet we go.
And I mean, like you said, they're going to have to pay Brock Purdy. He's going to command cash for sure.
Let's go to our friends over the cap. They currently, they are going to have negative $106 million in 2026.
Wow.
That's funny.
Wow. That's a lot.
Really funny. Wow. I mean, Jesus. They have $43 million right now, but that's not enough to pay Purdy.
No, it's not.
No.
Not when you look at some of the money that other quarterbacks have gotten. And I mean, Purdy is more proven than some of those. As
Dak Prescott.
Yeah. I mean, not to just sit here and just constantly crap all over Dak, but the thing is, Yeah. I'd take Purdy over Dak because Purdy's shown a propensity to win. To use an old cliche, he's shown the ability to win a big game.
Yeah.
Dak lilts. You can come at me all you want, Cowboys fans, but Dak lilts under pressure. That whole team, that's their makeup.
Jesus. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, it is 9:40 at night as I'm recording. You have to go to bed.
I'm being banished. You're being
banished to the shadow realm. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, you can find Dustin's program, No Credentials Required, in the description below, wherever you get your podcasts. Kevin's Twitter is in the description. Dustin's Twitter, wow. You've infected me, Dustin. At Aldosto67. Kevin Twitter, at Kevin62. We'll see. You can find me at Staniel Smooth on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok, and at Time to Best Podcast on Twitter and Instagram. My name is Staniel. That's Dustin. He's coming from the capital region of Albany, New York. My name is Staniel Smooth. I'm coming to you from the beaches of lovely Long Island, New York. This has been Seahawk Sessions, and we will see you all in this life and most certainly the next one. Cheers, guys.